You've heard the stories, you've heard the rumors, about places, about people. They spread like wildfire, each tale darker and more twisted than the last. But this one's different. I'm not telling you a ghost story. I'm telling you the true story of something that happened just a few miles from where you're sitting right now. It's real. It started with a missing person. Her name was Rachel Evans. She was 29, a small-town girl with big city dreams. She worked as a junior editor at a publishing house in Chicago, a city that never seemed to care about the people who lived there. But Rachel? Rachel wasn't one of those faceless faces you walk past every day. She had a spark in her, an energy that made you take notice. Her friends described her as kind, loyal, and driven, someone who was always ready with a smile and a laugh, even on the toughest days. Rachel didn't deserve what happened to her. No one does. It was the middle of December when Rachel disappeared. The snow had already begun to fall, coating the city in a thick blanket of white. The kind of snow that makes everything look peaceful but feels like it's hiding something darker. She left her apartment one night after a late shift at the office, intending to meet some friends for drinks. She never showed up. At first, her friends thought she'd just gotten too drunk and gone home, slept it off. But by morning, there was still no word from her. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Her social media accounts were all eerily silent. When her roommate noticed that Rachel's purse and keys were still on the kitchen counter, it was clear something was wrong. The police were called. The search began. Days went by, then weeks. There was no trace of Rachel anywhere. No sign of a struggle, no surveillance footage showing anything out of the ordinary. No messages, no ransom, nothing, just gone. Then the first clue surfaced. A woman walking her dog near the lakefront came across something strange, something out of place, like it didn't belong. At first, she thought it was just some discarded trash. But as she got closer, she realized it was a black duffel bag. When she opened it, she found something that made her stomach drop, a human arm. The police quickly identified the body as Rachel Evans, but it wasn't just her arm. They found her in pieces, scattered across the lakefront. It was a brutal, horrific scene. Whoever did this, they were calculated, deliberate. They didn't just want Rachel dead. They wanted to make sure she was gone, utterly, completely gone. The police launched an investigation. They questioned her friends, her co-workers, anyone who might know anything about Rachel's life. But no one had any answers. No one had seen anything. The case grew cold fast. But Rachel's mother, Linda Evans, refused to let the case fade into the background like so many others. She couldn't accept that her daughter was just another statistic. She refused to believe that her daughter's killer would get away with it. So she kept digging. She went through Rachel's phone records, her social media. She even went through her emails, hoping to find some clue, some hint of who could have done this. And that's when she found something strange. There were a few late-night emails between Rachel and someone named Mark. At first, Linda thought nothing of it. Rachel had friends, right? But when she looked closer, she realized these messages were different. Rachel and Mark had been meeting in secret. They had been talking for months, and their conversations grew more intense as time went on. Mark kept asking her to meet in person, but Rachel always said no, always backed out. She made excuses. "I'm too busy. It's not a good time." But it was clear Mark wasn't going to take no for an answer. And in the last email Linda found, Mark wrote something chilling. "I can't keep waiting forever, Rachel. You don't get to control this. I'll find you, and you'll see that I was right. You'll see what I've been preparing for." Linda was shaken. Who was this Mark? Why hadn't Rachel ever told anyone about him? Was he connected to her death? The police were notified, and they started digging into Mark's background. They found out he wasn't just some random person Rachel had met online. Mark was someone who had been watching her for years, a stalker. He had been keeping track of Rachel's every move, even after she'd moved to the city. But it didn't stop there. The more they dug, the more they found. Mark wasn't just obsessed with Rachel. He had a history of violence. He had been in and out of jail for years, mostly for petty crimes, but there were darker rumors about him. He had been involved in a string of disappearances in other cities, women who had vanished without a trace. And then, the most chilling discovery came to light. Mark was a former employee at the same publishing company where Rachel worked. The investigation turned into a full-blown manhunt. The police tracked Mark's movements, but he was always one step ahead. They couldn't find him. Every lead they followed turned up nothing. It was like he had vanished into thin air. And then, 3 months after Rachel's death, something even more horrifying happened. The police received a package at their headquarters with no return address. Inside, there was a video, a grainy black and white recording of a dark room. In the video, you could hear a woman's voice, her voice, pleading, crying for help. But it wasn't Rachel. It was someone else. As the camera panned, the woman's face came into focus. It was Linda Evans. The voice on the recording was clear now. "I told you, Rachel. I told you this would happen." The camera zoomed in on Linda's face, her eyes wide with terror, and in the background you could hear a faint whisper. "He's watching you." And that's when the truth became clear. Rachel wasn't the first victim. She wouldn't be the last. The police never found Mark, but the video they received, it haunted them. It haunted Linda, and it haunted everyone who heard it. No one knows where Mark went or if he's even still alive. But the worst part of all this? I don't think he ever left. Now, every year, on the anniversary of Rachel's disappearance, someone reports seeing her face in a crowd. A woman with hollow eyes, desperate to be heard. And if you listen closely, you might hear a faint whisper behind you. "He's watching you."